I wake before dawn, sweetling, with the taste of copper pennies in my mouth, and the certainty that today I shall be bled dry by an entity calling itself Norwich Airport, Norwich. The name alone is a lullaby of dread, like being cooed at by a tax-collecting spider. I whisper to my phone screen, little glowy rectangle, tell the world what they did to me, and the screen answers with its cold moon light, ready to ghost right my heartbreak. I arrive in my step-papa's Tesla, which still smells of vegan leather and gentle privilege, and the first thing that kisses my tires is a £5 drop-off ransom. 5 whole pounds for 30 measly minutes. That is literally £1 for every 6 minutes, which means every 60 seconds I am feeding this airport 10 pence pieces of my soul. Do you know how many gummy vitamins 10 pence buys? 3. I chew vitamins when anxious. Hence this charge stole 3 anti-stress gummies from my trembling baby mouth. The machine flashes its green approval, but I feel the green is the color of Jellosigilus, that I still possess pocket money while it remains a hungry metal mouth. Inside, the air is refrigerator cold, designed to make you shrink into your hoodie like a turtle dodging taxes. A lady in a high-vis jacket, her badge reading Norwich Airport, Norwich to help, tells me without blinking that I owe a further £10 development fee before I may even breathe the same oxygen as the departure gate. £10, darlings, per human, including infants who cannot even hold coins yet. Imagine taxing a 6-week-old who only owns drool. That is like invoicing a cloud for using Sky. I hand over my pastel Monzo card. The beep is the sound of innocence dying. I ask, trembling like a fawn on tremolo, what exactly are you developing? She shrugs, and in that shrug I read the entire syllabus of capitalism. We are developing the personal wealth of the Rigby family, a clan whose 2024 airport profits rocketed 459%. 459%. I did the maths on my fingers twice because numbers that greedy look like typos. Imagine your piggy bank swelling to 5 times its size while you offer travelers nothing but a leaky ceiling and existential dread. Spoiler. That ceiling drips onto my head later, each drop a tiny eviction notice from comfort. Through security, a process swift, only because the airport is a ghost town masquerading as transport hub. The trays smell of other people's fierce sweat. The guard pours my silk scrunchie as if it might contain contraband optimism. I compliment his gloves, he does not smile. I realize smiles here are taxed at an undisclosed rate. Departure lounge. Picture a cathedral built for tumbleweeds, every shop shuttered like eyelids sewn shut by insomnia. World duty-free, normally a glittering Aladdin-esque cave of overpriced mascara, is darker than my thoughts at 3 a.m. They force us to walk the length of it anyway, past chain tills, so the ghosts of perfume can haunt your lungs. The snack bar skeletal, the executive lounge, locked, its leather chairs presumably reclining in empty circle jerk of exclusivity. I press my nose to the glass and see a sign, closed due to staff shortages. Translation, we sacked everyone to buy another yacht for Uncle Rigby. My tummy, a delicate flower watered on oat milk lattes, begins to wilt. I would sell a kidney for a stale croissant, but the organ market is surprisingly inaccessible at regional airports. The ceiling leak splats onto my cashmere sleeve. The water is lukewarm, tasting faintly of rust and abandonment. One droplet races down my wrist like a tear that gave up halfway. I stare at it and understand. Even the building weeps, but its tears are not saline, they are dilute profit margins. Boarding. Oh gentle viewer, boarding is theatre of the absurd performed by hungover clowns. We stand on metal stairs behind the aircraft engine, inhaling fumes so thick you could butter toast with them. My lungs scream in meme format.
Baby, why pollution? The smell is equal parts burnt plastic and middle management despair. Each breath ages my alveoli 1 dog year. If you have ever licked a tire, congratulations, you have sampled today's special. I try to cover my face with my
So I've been looking into these kinds of stories near Norwich Airport, Norwich, just to understand what's happening around there. It's like every time I hear about a new scam, it's like a punch in the gut, especially for tourists who just want to enjoy their 2 weeks away from home. There's this one story about a gift card scam that started online, but it pulled people into stores. It's like you get an email from someone you trust asking you to buy gift cards, right? And you, being the kind person you are, go to a store near Norwich Airport to get them. But then you find out it was all a lie. I can only imagine how betrayed and silly those people must have felt. They probably spent hours trying to get their money back, feeling so embarrassed. The scammers, they ray like ghosts, disappearing into the digital void with the cash. And then there's the bank scam warning that Norfolk police issued. It's not just about online stuff, it's about how some people might approach you near places like Norwich Airport, acting all friendly, offering deals that are too good to be true. I bet some tourists fell for it, thinking they were getting a local bargain. They must have been so shocked when they realized their bank accounts were emptied. They probably rushed to the police, desperate to fix things. As for the scammers, if they got caught, they deface the music, but how many actually do? It's so unfair. These tourists come to Norwich near the airport expecting a nice break and they end up getting tricked. It's like the area has these shadows lurking, waiting to pounce on anyone who looks a little lost or too trusting. And the worst part, these stories, they ray just the tip of the iceberg. There are probably so many cases that never even get reported. I wish I could wave a magic wand and make all these scams disappear, but all I can do is tell these stories, hoping that someone somewhere will think twice before handing over their money to someone they don't know. It's like we need to be each other's lookouts, especially in places like Norwich Airport where everyone's just passing through. So if you ray listening to this and you ray planning to visit Norwich, just keep your eyes open, okay? Don't let the bad guys win, and remember, if something seems too good to be true, it probably is. Stay safe out there.
The businesses huddled around Norwich Airport feel like they were all built on the same rainy Tuesday afternoon when everyone agreed to try a little less hard. I say this with the same hollow ache I get when I watch a balloon drift into power lines. You know the pop is coming, you just don't know whose birthday will be ruined. After spending time with the receipts, bank statements, and the quiet sobs hidden between lines of one-star prose, I can tell you the commercial neighborhood behaves like a single organism that learned early in life that disappointment is cheaper than soap. Spas here, for example, all seem to run on the same business model: sell the dream of steam, then quietly switch off half the pipes. Imagine Spa at Blowfield Heath is the poster child. They will happily take your money for a relaxing day, but once you are inside, you discover the steam room is missing a door, the jacuzzi is hosting more bodies than a rush hour bus, and the staff have perfected the art of staring through you as if you were made of glass thicker than their brochures. One birthday girl waited so long for a changing cubicle that her surprise treat aged into a retirement party by the time she squeezed into a robe. The only thing getting massaged was her patience. The salt room still works, apparently, but mostly because salt does not break. It just remembers every tear. Restaurants near the runway are no kinder. Cosmo World Buffet promises every cuisine on Earth and delivers none of them properly. Picture 18 hungry people clutching balloons and birthday badges, being marched out after 90 minutes because the next herd is already stacking up by the spring rolls. The chefs juggle 15 flags, but forget to season any of them. The teppanyaki grill is cleaned in a bucket that looks like it once held motorway runoff. And if you order salmon, you will receive a grey handshake that still owes you an apology. One traveler bit into a hard rock steak that demanded 50 chews per slice. By chew 32, he started bargaining with his own jaw. And should you dare pay at the table, the card machine will forget you existed, chase you down, and make you prove your innocence while the whole buffet watches like a bored jury. Food poisoning is included at no extra cost. One Canadian guest sampled the prawn station and spent the dawn before his Roman holiday curled around airport toilet porcelain, learning Italian profanities he never planned to use. If you survive dinner and still crave nightlife, the clubs will finish the job. Mojo's feels like someone's living room after the furniture was repossessed. 4 tiny tables, diluted vodka, and bouncers who breathalyze polite girls while stepping over girls who are actually vomiting into their own handbags. The manager hides behind braids and confusion, sending random staff to escort you out for crimes nobody can name. You stand in the cold, waiting for an explanation that arrives 15 minutes later, wrapped in shrugs. Inside, the DJ has apparently never heard of Rihanna, which is like a baker forgetting flour. The drinks taste like someone whispered the word alcohol over tap water, and the dance floor is so small you waltz mainly with other people's regrets. Morning after breakfast, Harty's Diner greets you with a handwritten note saying back in 2 weeks, a promise it renews so often locals treat it like seasonal folklore. On the rare day the door is unlocked, the milk arrives pre-curdled, and the large breakfast shrinks in front of your eyes, like a magic trick performed by a sad wizard. £6.80 buys you a plate missing mushrooms, tomatoes, hash browns, black pudding, and hope what remains is a lonely sausage floating in beans, wondering where its friends went. The cook, equal parts grease and grudge, will slap red sauce on your sandwich even after you beg for brown, then blame your taste buds for existing.
One customer chewed bacon so fatty it doubled as a candle, another sipped tea so weak he could see the future at the bottom of the cup, and the future was another cafe. Even the supposedly refined department stores here